Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're tackling a topic that literally dictates the rhythm of the entire year for thousands of families, educators, and administrators. We're looking at the complex and actually deeply fascinating puzzle of how Arkansas school calendars are built. It might seem like somebody just sits down at a desk with a calendar and circles a few dates, but as we're going to see today, it's a whole lot more intricate than that.
Have you ever wondered why your local school might start classes or let out for the summer on a completely different day than the district right next door? It can be incredibly frustrating, right? Especially if you have family or friends in neighboring towns. You might be thinking, hey, shouldn't this just be standardized across the whole state? Well, the short answer is no. And the reasons why are actually a perfect example of trying to balance local community needs with some pretty strict state-level accountability.
Here's our roadmap for today. First, the Arkansas calendar puzzle. Second, flexibility versus state rules. Third, testing windows and weather. And finally, what families need to know.
Okay, let's dive right into Section 1, the Arkansas calendar puzzle, more than just dates.
So it's absolutely crucial to understand that school calendars are the foundation of the entire academic year. An Arkansas school calendar isn't just about marking the first and last day of class or, figuring out when winter break happens. It's a master blueprint. We're talking about a complex planning tool that literally shapes instructional time, testing windows, teacher contracts, family planning, and how a district responds to sudden weather closures. Administrators are constantly walking a tightrope here. They've got to design schedules that fit the unique realities and transportation patterns of their specific communities, all while simultaneously answering to the strict rules of the Arkansas Department of Education.
Moving right along to Section 2, flexibility versus state rules, how districts build the year.
Now, the state of Arkansas gives districts two main options when they sit down to design their schedules. On one side, you've got the traditional calendar. This is based on a fixed number of days. It's that familiar rhythm most of us grew up with. But on the flip side, districts can opt for an alternate calendar. This is incredibly fascinating because it's based on total instructional hours rather than days. Districts tally up these hours and convert them into the equivalent of a 6-hour instructional day. They use this for attendance and teacher contract purposes. And actually, this is exactly how some districts are able to pull off a transition to a 4-day school week. It's a really attractive model for districts wanting more creative control over how they structure their time.
But here's the catch. While the state offers this flexibility, it definitely does not offer a free-for-all. Every single option, whether it's traditional, alternate, or a hybrid, absolutely must satisfy the Arkansas Department of Education's rigorous requirements for instructional time and reporting. The state demands complete accountability for learning time. The calendar has to support consistent learning, protect intervention time, and give teachers a solid, workable structure for planning out their lessons.
All right, Section 3, testing windows and weather, the immovable anchors.
No matter how creative a district wants to be, they've got to work around some totally fixed dates. The Arkansas Department of Education locks in testing dates years in advance. They've already published final testing dates for the 2025-2026 school year and even released preliminary windows for 2026-2027. Statewide assessments have to be administered within these highly specific pre-approved windows, meaning principals and administrators simply cannot schedule major breaks, field trips, or other massive disruptions during these fixed periods. Every local calendar has to align with this overarching state timeline.
But as we all know, things happen. These calendars are living documents. For example, for the upcoming 2025-2026 cycle, some testing windows were actually extended by 1 full week because of recent unexpected school closures. So even rigid state-mandated schedules sometimes have to adapt to reality. It's a great reminder that districts need to be nimble and adjust quickly, all while staying completely compliant with state rules.
So, here's a crucial point. Under state guidance, traditional calendars are required to include at least 5 makeup days for closures caused by exceptional or emergency circumstances.
Why exactly 5 days? Well, because weather disruptions are a massive reality in Arkansas. They heavily affect attendance during the winter and spring months. By baking these makeup days into the schedule up front, administrators are basically preventing chaotic, last-minute changes for parents later in the year. If a district uses these built-in days, they aren't scrambling to stay aligned with state instructional expectations when a sudden ice storm hits. The contingency plan is built right into the blueprint.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 4, what families need to know. Your action plan. Okay, let's zoom all the way down to your kitchen calendar. Here's an exact 5-point checklist you can use to navigate your local school schedule. First up, verify your district's official calendar yearly. Never just assume it's going to be exactly the same as last year. Second, pinpoint the exact first and last student attendance dates. Not just the general academic year, but when your kids actually need to be in the building. Third, meticulously note the parent-teacher conference days, early release days, and professional development, or PD days. Trust me, those are the hidden dates that always catch people off guard. Fourth, review those immovable testing windows for your child's specific grade level so you can anticipate those high-pressure weeks. And fifth, keep an eagle eye on where those weather makeup days are placed. Walking through this checklist is going to save you massive headaches when it comes to planning childcare, work schedules, and family travel.
Because calendars can shift due to weather, legislative changes, or state testing updates, the golden rule here is pretty simple. Stay local, stay current. Do not assume a statewide schedule. Relying on an old calendar, or just glancing at what the neighboring district is doing, is a surefire way to miss important non-instructional days and create totally avoidable stress for yourself as the school year unfolds.
I want to leave you with this really powerful quote directly from our source material today. The calendar is not just a date sheet, it is a core part of how the school year works. It dictates learning time, makeup days, testing, and your family's daily routine. The stakes of school scheduling are high, but once you understand the machinery behind it, you have the power to plan so much more effectively. So, what about you? Have you checked your local district's calendar for hidden non-instructional days yet? Seriously, don't wait for a surprise early release day to catch you off guard. Take what you've learned today, go pull up your local district's website, and take control of your schedule. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer, and keep learning.